And that wasn't the only truck or treat event today. The Pitt County Animal Shelter also hosted one, and I hear it was a little bit of a party. At least that's what our Haley Hollinger says. She was there talking with trunk or treaters and a couple of furry friends too.
Yeah, Stephen, Halloween is here, and both two-legged and four-legged friends came dressed for the occasion.
Listen to that. You got a whole stash in there.
Candy.
I like Kit Kats, gummy worms, and Nerds.
Games.
I did the boardwalk, I did the cornhole. I did that one over there where like you chuck the ball into the hole.
And adoptable dogs, made for a howling good combination. At the Pitt County Animal Shelter's Trunk or Treat, cars line the edge of the plot with treats for both kids and pups. But the biggest treat of all was the chance for the adoptable dogs to be out and meet different families and people, in hopes of finding their forever homes or even just some friends.
Piggy. Wait, we could take one of them home.
Pitt County Shelter volunteers were out with the dogs and say they loved seeing them meet everyone.
It is. So we're taking dogs and we're walking them around out here, and they all have their little Adopt Me on them.
And while admission was free, donations were also accepted to support Story Walk and Dolly Parton's Imagination Library in Lenoir and Greene counties. So as you can see, it really seemed like everybody had a blast, both kids and pups. And while adoption wasn't available today, if you were interested in any of the animals you saw, call Pitt County Animal Services. Stephen.
Well, thanks, Haley. The Pitt County Shelter is also always looking for volunteers as well.